Hello everyone, this is the Walrus Clown here, and today we are digging into the worst cartoon of the mid-2000s that I think I have ever seen. What is it with dinosaur cartoons and sucking? Dino Squad, everyone. Let's get this over with. Daughter, do the thing! And if you look to your left, everyone, you will see the museum's recreation of the Walrus. Dino Squad was a show that aired on CBS on November 3rd, 2007 and lasted until 2009, and in fact was the last cartoon produced by Deke Entertainment before being bought out and absorbed into Cookie Jar Entertainment. And now onto the characters. They get no development and can be summed up with one word each that explains their entire character. To save time, their names and dino forms will be beside the pictures as I go through their traits, which might as well be their names considering how one note they all are. Tomboy, vain, jock, dork, exposition, dog, villain, jerk. Wait a minute, pterosaurs aren't dinosaurs. Wait. The scientific inaccuracies are for their own segment later. Moving on. Now with the characters and technicals out of the way, on to the premise. Have you watched Power Rangers Dino Thunder? Then you've seen Dino Squad, only not stupid. Let me explain by going over episode 1. After an intro where we get a scene showing how unlikable the token girl is going to be, a trait shared amongst all the main cast, unfortunately, we get a scene explaining that the villain is a millionaire named Victor Velocity that's actually a shape-shifting velociraptor that wants to turn all life on Earth back into dinosaurs. We cut to a field trip where we see the squad jump into water to save Spuds McKenzie from a shark after Spud swims off with the Vain One's new jacket. After swimming in the ooze, our band of dumbasses, Spuds McKenzie and the shark, get their DNA dinofied. After a small montage of us seeing them slowly turn back and forth between dino and human, their biology teacher, Miss McKenzie, reveals that she knows about their dino morphing and goes into more backstory. She reveals that she herself is a shape-shifting velociraptor, and that the meteor that killed most of the non-avian dinosaurs also mutated her in Velocity, so they are immortal and can shapeshift, and with modern technology, global warming, and a whole lot of technobabble, Velocity can now do his plan and devolve Earth's creatures back into dinosaurs. I'll give them this, it's nice for the villain to have a somewhat believable motivation behind wanting to pull off the M. Bison plot outside of M. Bisoning for the sake of M. Bisoning.
Of course!
But in the same note, they still managed to make it stupider than any M. Bison plot I've yet come across. And considering that I've sat through the 80s reboots of the 60s Hanna-Barbera hero properties, that's saying quite a bit. Anywho, moving on. The shape-shifting velociraptor biology teacher, words I'd never thought I'd have to say in rapid succession, tries to fix them by shooting them with liquid nitrogen to try and force the dinosaur DNA to the surface, and tries to soak it up with the technobabble, but it fails because the science goo is tainted with gamma radiation, and it goes without saying, but spraying living beings with liquid nitrogen is a fast track for a Darwin Award. Anywho, we cut to Victor as he tracks the shark that became a plesiosaur from earlier and calls it a mutant megalodon. Let's take care of the mammoth in the room. I'm going to be incredibly generous and assume that he's also bringing back other animals from the Mesozoic to make it feel more like home, which is why we see the plesiosaur and why one of our lead dipsticks can become a pterosaur despite neither being actual dinosaurs. And that Velocity is actually specially transmuting living beings into dinos, and that the whole de-evolve line was just to cut down on exposition because the producer thought the kids were too stupid to understand the concept. A reoccurring vibe I got from throughout the entire series. And I'm going to assume that the producers didn't let the writers and animators communicate with one another, because how do you hear giant shark and draw plesiosaur? And the fact that the non-avian dinosaurs were extinct for several million years before the megalodon shows up in the fossil record means he wouldn't be trying to bring it back anyway. This was made in 2005. We had the Googles then. There was no excuse for this. I'm sorry for continuing to go off on these tangents, but there's just so much stupid here. Dinosaurs? Sharks? What? They do realize that Ninja Sex Party's dinosaur laser fight music video was for comedy and not meant to be educational, right? On second thought, get Danny and Ninja Brian on this stat. They'd actually make this stupid concept work by having it be funny. And if he could get Aaron to reanimate everything, then the animation would actually look good instead of just okay. Anywho, back to the episode. Captain Exposition Dump, who I remind you is a more experienced, immortal, shape-shifting velociraptor, sends a group of inexperienced, only just now got a hold of their powers teenagers to go out and subdue a not actually a megalodon. What a nice mentor figure. At least Zordon picked teenagers who knew martial arts. Urgh. Anywho, after some preachy BS about how they need to demutate the monster back into a shark without killing it...
We're back to the Jurassic era!
No, it's no more a monster than any of you. It's just a wild animal trying to survive. You have to save it, not harm it.
We have shenanigans where the liquid nitrogen death ray and the DNA-sucking technobabble get knocked away, and they split into 3 teams to get them back, with Tomboy being the only scientifically confirmed aquatic dinosaur at the time, swim to get the liquid nitrogen death ray. Jerkwad uses his not a dinosaur flying powers to get the DNA technobabble, and the 3 remaining assholes try to trap the also not a dinosaur. After some more shenanigans, they finally turn the shark back into normal, and we end on a generic platitude about working together, etc., and the episode finally ends. But then decides to punch us in the gut one final time by having a one-liner about recycling over the ending credits.
You don't have to be a Dino Squad hero to help save the Earth. Be cool. Reduce, reuse, recycle.
First things first, let me get that promised rant about scientific inaccuracies out of the way, starting with the Velociraptor. As any fellow Dino Dork will tell you, the Jurassic Park raptors on display here look nothing like their in real-life counterparts. They were A, the size of chickens, and B, covered with feathers. The Spinosaurus gets a pass because the only fossils of it were blown up during World War II until more were dug up in 2010, so they couldn't have known. The evidence for T-Rex and his closest kin having display feathers wasn't dug up until recently, but they didn't have frills on their backs like Jock does. I don't know what they were smoking, but this isn't a Styracosaurus. They seem to be giving it the display frills of a related member of the Styracosaur branch of the Ceratopsidae family, but the above eye horns of a Triceratops. And Stego is the only scientifically accurate dino here. Congratulations, Vanity Smurf, they didn't F you up. And Jerk gets his own paragraph starting now. As stated throughout the review, Pterodon was not a dinosaur, and, not surprisingly, is the most inaccurate thing here. Where to start? He's way too big to be a pterodon. He's more in line with a Quetzalcoatlus in terms of size. Pterosaurs were not rail thin and in fact had air sacs throughout their body that made them look more plump than this. They were covered in fur-like filaments. Their wings were their front limbs, not part of them. We shouldn't be seeing claws on them. And their wings were curved at the bottom, not pointy. And the post-Triassic pterosaurs didn't have long tails or teeth. And now for some things that just plain bothered me. A. Why does Spuds McKenzie only have a partial transformation? Why not just have him get a frill on his back and make him a Dimetrodon? They were actually stem mammals and were not dinosaurs, and in fact went extinct millions of years before dinosaurs showed up. But it's well established by this point that you don't care about science, Dino Squad. Seriously, if Trey the Explainer, David Altenborough, James Horner, and everyone involved with PBS Eons got into a room and made a 2-hour-long documentary pointing out the scientific inaccuracies here, called Dino Squad Fucked Science and Now Science is Fucking It Right Back, it would still be 6 hours too short to fit everything in. And B, almost all the creatures they encounter are just random kaiju-esque chimeras that have nothing saurian about them. I thought the villain wanted to bring back the dinos, not mutate everything. If you wanted to do a Monster of the Day kaiju fight show, then do that. If you wanted to do a show about dinosaurs in modern times, then do that. If you wanted to do a slice of life show that teaches the audience life lessons, then cut out the dinos and have a storytelling engine that allows for that. You are not My Little Pony or Steven Universe, Dino Squad. You can't handle switching tones on a dime. Even then, those shows pick a tone for an episode and stick with it for the duration. They don't flip-flop every couple of minutes like you do. And we come to the part of the review where I go over how this could have saved itself. Ever since I get the feeling that what the showrunners really wanted to do was a Monster of the Week kaiju fight show, we'll go with that. How about a shape-shifting alien eco-terrorist disguises himself as a human and starts mutating Earth animals in order to wipe humanity out and return Earth to its pristine state? But another alien from the same species is here trying to stop him disguised as a high school teacher. Then the whole student swimming through ooze thing happens, and then we get a part where the good alien reveals itself and stabilizes their kaiju mutations so they can change back and forth at will, and boom! All the science problems solved. In short, this show is terrible. Somewhere between the scientific inaccuracies, the unlikable one-note cast of tokens, the mediocre animation, the exposition dump's inability to decide whether she has an Irish or Scottish accent, my god, did no one care about what they were doing? If this is what Deke was routinely pooping out, it's no wonder they went belly up and were bought out. This is the Walrus Clown signing out. Next up is a very special project. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.
Let's go, everybody out on the floor. Woo! Get up now, get up now. Ooh. Let's groove, can you show me what you're gonna do? Get up, cause the party don't stop now. Ow!
Yeah, hello. This is the Walrus Clown, and normally I'd put some sort of gag here, but I'm not gonna do that. If you guys could hit the subscribe button or watch another video or share all this on social media and help my channel grow, that'd be great. Okay, thanks, bye.